What's up, guys? It's Elz here, and today I'm joined by the Welsh Gangster, Oban Elliott. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. We're here at the O2.
Yes, we're back.
They're getting ready at the moment for the big show.
I know, yeah. We had the UFC last week. Ready to enjoy, on my day off, a bit of WWE.
WWE. So this, I was going to say, it's your day off, but this is a special day off because it's not every day you get to come to London and watch.
Well, I don't know, I've got about a fair bit lately, and this is, if I had something I would want to do on my day off, it would probably be something like this,
Yeah.
you know, wrestling, fighting, so, yeah.
You're a big WWE fan. Is that from when you were younger, you used to watch it?
Well, yes, that's like the first thing I can remember watching. I didn't really watch cartoons. I just watched like the most acceptably violent thing you can at like 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, many people grow up, I guess, and start watching other things. I just never really stopped. And then I joined the UFC at the same time of the TKO merger. And now I'm part of the furniture here. I don't know, it's mad. So yeah, I love it. I love it all.
So in the UFC, you have a big personality. Did you take any of that from WWE inspiration?
To be honest, yeah. Well, I always wanted to be a wrestler, and then when I realised it was more to it than just like, you know, what we see on TV as kids, I kind of thought, like, I don't know how I'm going to become a wrestler, so I knew I could become a UFC fighter. I did martial arts since I was a kid, and I just think I'm like a wrestler who does MMA. I don't think I'm a UFC fighter. I feel like in my head, like I'm one of these boys. You know what I mean?
If you were a character then in WWE, what kind of character would you go for?
I'd be the worst arsehole on the card. I'd be like a bad guy. That's always been my dream. Yeah. Like a lovable bad guy. Yeah,
I always like the evil characters.
Yeah. Me too. Like I loved Hollywood Hogan. Didn't really like Hulk Hogan. Like the you know, say your prayers gimmick. I loved it when he said, I've done it for the money. Like John Cena when he turned bad the other day. That was good. So yeah, that's just kind of how I have always imagined I would be. On a day off, I get to think how I would fit in on today's show.
Yeah, take inspiration.
Yeah, exactly.
Think what I would do.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still early on your UFC career.
Yeah.
But afterwards, would you ever consider WWE?
I've spoke to Triple H about this. We went, thanks to TKO, I went to Berlin. I met up with Punk, the producer took me backstage, we did a bit of content. Punk said, is there anything you want to do? And I said, nah, you know, I'll come to see you, go get ready for your match. Then he disappeared, he come back, called me down the hallway, and then takes me into the room. Triple H gets out of the chair, and I was, you know, my God, it's Triple H. But I had to tell him I didn't want to waste the opportunity. I said I'd love to wrestle for you one day.
Hopefully we work together one day. To be a wrestler one day. That was my main dream, but then I ended up being a fighter.
Let me know too if you ever like if you're in the States for that fight or something, or if you're there for a period of time. If you want to come down to the Performance Center too, or something like that, just come down there for a few days, and you don't have to bang around or anything, but you can come down, see what it looks like, and get a feel.
And he said, you know, let us know, come and train anytime. You know, I don't want to call it a retirement plan because I feel like that would undermine the business. I'd love to do it. 1 week I'm in the wrestling ring, the next week I'm in the octagon.
WWE.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it.
Well, you mentioned Punk there because you guys have interlinked somehow, don't you? What's your story?
We met after my debut. Like, Megan O'Leary just called me over and said, do you want to meet CM Punk? I said, of course. So I had this, I had a press conference, I came back, met Punk, we kept in touch, sorted me tickets a couple of times, and just friends, supporting the other. And he's he gave me a lot of insight into like a legend of his caliber and how he like day to day, I don't know, deals with it. He's a great guy and he's a role model of mine for sure. Yeah.
I mean, you can see how much WWE has inspired you. You pulled the Hogan pose. There you go.
Well, how many cameras have we got? Are they all big enough? Yeah, I know. It's the Arnie pose, Hogan pose. I don't know where that came from. I just did it after a fight. Yeah, the first time I did it, everybody laughed. I kept doing it, and then I'm doing it in Madison Square Garden, where, you know, I'm walking around the cage doing it. Yeah, I don't know.
If not Madison Square Garden, where? Do you know
exactly,
what I mean?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And how lucky am I to have been a part of that? So.
And was it your first UFC fight with the Ric Flair speech as well?
Yes.
I am the man, and to be the man, you've got to beat the man.
To be the man, you've got to beat the man. Yeah, with a tear in my eye, the greatest moment of my life, which it was, and I meant that. Before I got to the UFC, I had a rocky couple of years with injuries, health problems. I'm not just saying this. I literally, to motivate myself, I would watch Hollywood Hogan's promos where he's talking about coming back from injury. Ric Flair, about like, real men, people say you have ups and downs, real men stay up, and it did a lot for my mindset, and then I started to pick things back up and do well, and yeah, I had that envisioned to say that on my UFC debut for years prior, and then to actually do it, like Joe Rogan's right there, and to do it, I was always going to do it. Yeah. Thank God I didn't get my tongue twisted, you know.
You know, envisioning things and speaking things into existence is a massive contributor to stuff like that. For sure.
Just since I was a little kid, I just had this, like, I don't know, I just crazy ambitious. I don't know, I was scared of not doing it. You know what I mean? I was scared of not making it, you know, and I'm going to use another one, a wrestler, Eddie Guerrero. If I would have got here by any means necessary, even if I've had to lie, cheat, and steal my way up. Who knows if I did or didn't, but I'm here now, and I have no interest in taking a backward step.
Nice, well, I think we should head upstairs.
Yeah.
This, I need to tell you though, is my first ever WWE
No way.
experience.
Oh, you'll love it, it's the
So you're
best.
gonna have to show me the ways.
Of course.
Teach me everything.
Of course, of course.
Right, let's head on up.
Let's go.
So one of the big things in WWE is promos.
Yes.
I don't know what that is, so you might have to tell me.
So a promo is essentially where I guess you might be challenging your next opponent. You might be trying to make a fight with somebody. You need to. It'll have a direct message in the promo. It's direct. It's entertaining.
So it's like trash talk.
It's trash talk.
Yeah.
It's and it's selling fights basically is what a promotion promo.
Okay,
you know?
well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right, so I've got a challenge for us. We're gonna shoot our own promos.
Okay.
But you got to imagine you're in the WWE. You're gonna call someone out that you want to fight.
Right.
And I'm gonna give you a random word just in the middle of it all, and you've got to fit it into your promo.
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay, let's go. Hey, cameraman, you think you're big and you're tough? You're stood there. You've got these charity shop shoes on. You've got these denim jeans that I don't even think my grandfather would wear, and that jumper, my God, brother.
Cardboard box.
Cardboard box. This jumper looks like it came out of a cardboard box that you found outside the O2 Arena tonight, brother. You need to pick up your game if you stood in front of greatness while you're filming me, cutting promos, whether it's the WWE, whether it's the UFC, whether I'm setting you all on fire, this pathetic camera crew. I am the man, and to be the man, you gotta beat the man. How's that?
Well, that was great.
Yeah?
Yeah. No,
I don't know where that came from.
You were always going to be good at that.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
You're inspirational. You've got all the sayings in your locker.
Yes.
Unlike me, who is the most awkward person on the world.
Let's
so
go.
This should be really great.
If you're intimidated, what I've got to say, brother, this is nothing. Because I'm about to pass you over to Elz, who's going to really tell you what's up.
Yeah. Oh, don't be scared of me. Who wouldn't want to fight someone that's never been in the ring before? Yeah? I could take on anyone. If anyone wants it, I can take you on. I mean, I've got all the skills. Never thrown a punch in my life. So there's that. But everyone loves the underdog, and I could be the underdog, and I'd be really great. So if you want to fight me, come to the fight and buy the tickets, please.
That was very good.
Yeah.
That was very good. You don't think that was very good?
Yeah, just really embarrassed of myself.
No, don't be. That was very good. Yeah, you nailed that. You nailed that. You ran with that.
I think I sold it really well.
Yeah, you did. I think you did better than me.
Now that we've put our promo skills to the test, it's time to watch the pros in action as Oban and I take in the atmosphere of Friday Night Smackdown live at the O2.
Okay, we just sat down. The show is started. We have the best. I'm really excited. What's happening at the moment?
Cody and Randy ran a bit of a heart-to-heart, and then Drew McIntyre's come out there, and I have no idea why.
Okay, we're in fight one. I'm back in Pretty Deadly because they're from the UK.
If you're back in them, I'll back the brothers.
Yeah,
Street
Street
Profits.
Profits.
The UFC welterweight contender who goes by the nickname the Welsh Gangster. Do not mess with this guy if you're sitting in the front row, Wade Bear. Do not turn around and point your finger in his direction. He's on an 8-win streak.
Okay, everyone's booing Charlotte Flair, but I quite like her.
She's probably the greatest woman wrestler of all time.
Okay, they're gonna sign a contract. Who's signing the contract?
Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins for their big showdown at Wrestlemania.
So this is a big moment.
But this is a big moment, but this could get violent pretty quick. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have to jump the barricade and help Punk.
Looks like we checked those boxes. I'll give you a highlight. CM Punk, you are a WrestleMania main event.
What a show and what an experience. Now it was time to dive into Oban's career, his 3-0 record so far, and who he has his eye on for the future. I think one thing I really admire about you is in interviews you are quite open sort of about your life and how you feel, particularly before fights, which is what I wanted to get into, is pre-fight nerves. You've been quite open and honest about them. I think it's quite a relatable subject as well because people get nervous in life.
Yeah, they come and they go. It's like a mixture of excitement, anticipation, and nerves. But I do feel the nerves. But it's weird. For me, I stop feeling the nerves as soon as I build this idea up in my head about what I'm getting myself into. Like this happened that I fought in Manchester last year. I was nervous sick for months leading up to it. I remember saying to myself, why am I doing this if I'm getting this nervous about it? And then I had the fight in Manchester. I was nervous for the weeks leading up. I get to the hotel, I don't want to be there. I do my interviews, I don't really want to do them. I just hated it all. And I remember thinking, this was always my dream. And I'm just sitting here like a nervous wreck. And I'm not enjoying it, so what's the point? And then I got to the arena and I saw the changing room. The fights were on the TV. I saw the arena. There was 25,000 there, and I thought, this is what I've always wanted to do. So what was I getting nervous about? And then I did the warm-up. I walked out to the crowd. I was in the cage. I loved the fight. I did the interview. I walked back and I said to my coaches, I said, what was I worried about? I love that. I can't wait to do it again. So then I kind of took that into the fight in New York.
It's all part of the journey. I mean, everyone gets nervous in life, and I think at a point where you're not getting nervous at all, that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign. And I like to play this game with myself. There's fights all along the card. He's fighting that guy, he's fighting that guy, he's fighting that guy. But there's a fight going on against everyone. And that is who's going to deal with the nerves the best. So imagine there's 20 fights on the card, 10 fights on the card, there's 20 fighters. So there's, imagine like a 20-man table. Who's going to be top of the table? And that's what I aim to be. I'm in the change room, I see, I've been in the change room with some of the best fighters in the world. And I'm like, I'm going to be less nervous than you. I'm going to deal with this better than you. So that's how I kind of navigate through it. I'm like the legends that fought in Madison Square Garden over the years. I remember thinking to myself, I'm no different to them. And I was just having a word with myself, and I got in the cage before the event started, and I just thought, there's no imposter syndrome here anymore. This is what I've always wanted to do, and I fought like it, and I know I can repeat that. I guess it's a message for everyone, like you say, everybody gets nervous, just keep fighting through it, because eventually you come out the other side.
The reward is worth it at the end
for
of it.
sure. Yeah, if you dig deep enough, you get the gold, and then you can relax. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you have had 3 fights in the UFC.
Yeah.
Won all 3. Let's talk through each of them. I mean, let's go back to the first one. Would you say out of all 3, that's the most nerve-wracking one, just because it's your debut in the UFC?
Oh my God, yeah. And I had Like, I met all the legends. I did my first UFC fight week. It felt like everyone was watching. I get to the arena, and it's a cutthroat business. Like, right, you're fighting at this time. So I was like, oh, I've only got like an hour and a half. I was like, right, I know what'll make me feel better. I'll go and see the arena. Just get used to it. So I asked Roger, can you take me through?
This is before everyone had come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, an empty arena.
Yeah, and then I looked through it and I felt 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So I'm walking through, I'm like, oh my God. I'm looking around. I'm like, can I go in the cage? No, you can't go in the cage. I was like, ah. And then they said, right, time's up, you got to go back in. So I've come out of the dressing room feeling all right, and then I've gone in feeling 10 times worse. And then you just got to go and, fight. And I got dropped in the first 30 seconds of the fight. And
so welcome to the UFC.
oh my God, yeah. But I just gritted that out. And that wasn't a very pretty fight. It was a good fight. I did well. But I said to my brother, I said, what good is this, me doing this, if I only enjoy it after it's done? That's like, so why am I doing it? You know what I mean? Because the victory's not guaranteed. Everybody would enjoy the victory, of course. But, so then I just kept trying to make myself enjoy it more, and then that led into the Manchester fight, which I hated the week, loved the fight, and then the New York one, it all came together and I put the man down.
Oh! Now his face might be two! Oban Elliott with a massive right!
Oh, wow.
That'll do it! Oban Elliott continues to shine!
What better place to do it?
I know.
You've spoken about Madison Square Garden, but let's talk about it properly, because Madison Square Garden is a bucket list sort of arena opportunity in itself.
Yeah.
And then to go into a fight like that, as you said, you've been building the confidence up over the past 2 fights. To go in and get a knockout.
Oh my God. Like the media, I did the weigh-in and they said, oh, when are we going to see a finish? And I was a little bit cranky. I just cut weight and I was like, yeah, come on. Like, you're going to see a finish. I was saving it for this one, of course. And then I go away and I'm like, oh God, the fight's happening tomorrow. But yeah, I was fighting a good guy. A lot of people thought I would lose. I didn't think I would lose, because he arguably beat Jack Della Maddalena, who was about to fight for the belt. So it was like, this big step up. But I know I could beat him. And then when he came out aggressive in the third round, which I was waiting for him to do, I caught him. It's insane. I will always appreciate that, even if it all goes downhill from here. I've achieved that in Madison Square Garden, where, you know, it was the home of the WWE. It was MMA was illegal in New York until McGregor fought there. So, you know, when I watched that fight, I saw how, you know, my dream could come true of fighting there one day. And in my first year in the UFC, they gave me the chance. And even if that was just the case and I fought there and lost or whatever, that's still amazing. But to do what I did, it just feels like I'm almost making it up as I'm reciting it back to you. Do you know what I mean? It's insane.
Does it still feel surreal to sort of go from being in Wales, you've done all these different careers, and now you're in Madison Square Garden in New York, getting a knockout?
Yeah, that will never not be surreal. Yeah, I mean, yeah, wow. You just reminded me of it all. I was just disgracefully depressed. I didn't, like I said earlier, I just said, like, I don't want anything else out of life other than to do this. I put that pressure on myself. I couldn't seem to shake it. I just knew I could do it. If I stuck at it, I know I could do it. And to finally get there and do it like I did in MSG, like, that's just a separate thing altogether. So I just feel like the luckiest man in the world. I know it's not, people say, it's not luck. I think there is a little bit of luck
I think it's
involved.
a mixture, but also one thing I really like about you is you speak things into existence. You're so headstrong in kind of like envisioning what you want for yourself, and I think that's so powerful just to anyone. I guess to say, if you want to achieve something, just set your mind to it, and you can.
Don't take no for an answer, and people will talk you out of it. There's an analogy I heard. There's like 10 crabs leaving the bucket, and then one tries to leave the bucket, and the other 9 try and claw the crab back down.
Crabs in a bucket.
Is that
well, it's a phrase in itself. Crabs in a bucket.
I didn't need to explain it. Yeah, that's what people will do. That's what people do. Talk about working in that school, because I lost 1 or 2 fights when I worked. Yeah, 1 fight when I was working in that school. They were playing it in their ICT class. They were writing on the whiteboard the Oban is. You know, I was absolutely skinned. It was just a time where I thought, God, is this worth it? But I just didn't stop. Thank God I didn't stop. I kind of thank myself every day for not stopping, because I'm exactly the same as I always have been. I just kept it up. There's a lot to that.
We spoke about when you were still teaching, you were doing Cage Warriors at the same time.
Yeah.
So what is the jump like then from your Cage Warriors journey then into the UFC?
It's just genuinely, you say I'm honest, this is the most honest way about it, finally enjoying it, because I didn't sign up to be an MMA fighter to fight for Cage Warriors, and that's not a knock on Cage Warriors, that's just how my head was. Like, every second I was in Cage Warriors, I was like, I couldn't watch the UFC, to be honest with you. And I don't know if that makes me, I don't know, egotistical, but there was times where I'm like, I need to be there, and it would be on in London, and all my friends would be in the pubs watching it, and I'd be at the school, and then working the Saturday night in Nando's because I was so skint, washing plates, and all my mates texting, look at this, UFC London, yeah. Are you gonna be there soon or what? And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there, mate. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But just finally, just relieved I made it.
I think I've seen you in interviews say that you were quite overlooked or underappreciated in Cage Warriors.
They didn't underappreciate me. It was just like, I think maybe I wasn't as highly thought of as a fighter. There was other prospects that people thought were more interesting than me. I was just thinking every fight was in Cage Warriors wasn't necessarily a win. It was just like, more to the CV to eventually get to the UFC. It was like, I win this fight, can I fight in the UFC? You're not like a nagging kid, can I fight in the UFC now? Then I lost a couple. No, I need to chill out. I need to get these fights out of the way first. Walk before you can run. And then I just kind of fought the men in front of me and just became patient with it all. And I became grateful for being there, I think that comes with maturity and things like that. And the more grateful you are, not to sound like a hippie or whatever, but I feel the more grateful you are in the moment, you attract good things. That's what I've learned. And I try and, I'm very good at being grateful now. Mm-hmm. One, because I'm obviously where I've always dreamed of being, but also just for the little things, rather than just constantly chasing the next. Yeah. You can get caught up in that sometimes.
And what is next for the Welsh Gangster?
I don't know what they're planning for me. There's a couple of names getting thrown about, but not between me and the UFC, just like the fans. I don't know how much they read into that. You never know, they don't give you much. But I think it would be the end of May, maybe the start of June.
Anyone in particular?
There's a few. There's Brian Battle, there's Luke K, there's the rest of them are booked. So they're kind of like the ones who are ahead of me. There's Jake Matthews, there's a few, but we'll see who they come up with. It could be Brock Lesnar for all I care, and I'll get the job done. So there's nothing stopping me now. I keep winning. Is there an
ultimate sort of level that you want to get to in the UFC and achieve? What is that for you? What's the ceiling with the UFC for you?
I wanna become the champion, and just run the gaff. To be honest with you, I want to become the champion. I honestly wouldn't waste my time doing all this work. I wouldn't have dedicated my life to it if I didn't think I could do it. I know I can do it. Just a few more fights, one step at a time. I've learnt my lesson from my early career, not to always look forward to the next, just appreciate every step while it's here, and I'll get there. If I've got to just rip it off someone's shoulder and leg it and then fight him for it, I'll do that. Whatever it takes. I'll become the champion, I think. And I know that now.
I believe you.
Yeah,
because you seem like you know exactly what you want.
Well, yeah, and you say I'm honest. Mm-hmm. I genuinely, I will be scared of every man I get in there with. I'm looking at him like, oh God, this could go horribly wrong. But I will fight to the death, without a doubt. And that's why I say I don't care who's next. I've done my bit on social media to get a bit of interest. The fans are waiting. The next guy, whoever it is, send anyone you want. Just don't send anyone you want back.
Well, let's talk WWE. If there was anyone you could get in the octagon with, who do you think you would pick?
I think right now, the way I'm going, it would have to be The Rock.
Well, yeah, aim high.
Right now, because I'm, with the TKO merger and everything going on with the final boss, he's on his last legs. In the WWE, probably, he's a busy man. I would take The Rock. Stipulation for the control of TKO.
Yeah.
And then when we deal with the final boss, then I can feature on every Raw, every Smackdown, every UFC event. And I'll have my fun whether people turn up or not. That's what I'll do.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
The Rock is on his last legs, guys.
Yeah, well, we can't upset The Rock there, but or maybe we can and get a bit of heat going. Who knows?
I love that. Well, thank you so much for spending your day off with me. It's been so fun to experience WWE for the first time, hear all about your story and your journey, and I hope that you go on to achieve great things.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. Thank you.
So there you have it. That was Oban Elliott's day off. I've been Elz, and I will see you in the next one.